Good morning, friends. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, and we're going to be reading a story today called Let My People Go, and it's about the 10 plagues. So I'm thinking that you probably know parts of this story, and you can think about it as we're reading today and see what you remember. So let's read the 10 plagues. And this book has very, very colorful pictures, so it'll be interesting to watch. Oh, and it also rhymes, so see if you can hear the rhymes as we're reading. A burning bush, and it began. As God told Moses, here's my plan. But Moses was a simple man. He said, I just don't think I can. Poor Moses. God wouldn't hear the answer no, and said, with Aaron you will go, to lead my people from Pharaoh. Tell him that your God said so. Do you hear the rhyming? So Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says, let my people go. And Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A big mistake. He didn't know that God would deal a mighty blow. A plague, a plague, a plague, Egyptians to the Pharaoh said. Their God has turned our water red. No more fish, they are all dead. Where's some water we can drink? We cannot stand this bloody stink. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, let my people go. And Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. Frogs were Pharaoh's next nightmare, he cried. They're hopping everywhere. Tell God to send the frogs away. Then you can go without delay. They're in my oven, in my bed. I think a frog just jumped on my head. So Moses prayed, and the frogs were dead. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, let my people go. And Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. Egyptians cried, oh no, now gnats, covering cows and dogs and cats, covering us from head to toe. Please, Pharaoh, let these people go. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, let my people go. And Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. God spread the ground with nasty flies, but Pharaoh answered, only lies. I'll let your people leave this place. Just get these fleas out of my face. When Moses said, it's done, we'll go, Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. Soon animals began to die. Egyptians pleaded, hear our cry. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, why? But Pharaoh still would not comply. You know this part. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, let my people go. But Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. Egyptians moaned and cried in dread to see their skin turn purply red and nasty boils begin to spread. But Pharaoh was an old hard head. When Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says, let my people go. Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. God continued the campaign with hail and thunder, mighty rain. There'd never been a worse event. It looked like Pharaoh might relent. But when Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says, let my people go. Pharaoh shouted, no, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague. Now God sent down a new command, and Moses, with his outstretched hand, sent hungry locusts through the land. Said Pharaoh, "This I cannot stand. Leave Egypt now as you have planned." But when the people packed to go, Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no! A plague, a plague, a plague!" Then Egypt had 3 days of night, while Israelites enjoyed God's light. So Pharaoh tired of the fight. "Wives and children all can go. You cannot take your livestock, though." He didn't really mean it, so he soon again was shouting, "No, no, no. A plague, a plague, a plague." God through Moses said, "Beware, this plague is bad beyond compare. Death to every firstborn son, from royal born to poorest one. But sons of Israel I will spare, so listen now, you must prepare." And God struck his final blow. Pharaoh shouted, "Go, go, go." And they went. And you know the rest of that story. So that was just a reminder about the 10 plagues. All right, friends, I'll see you tomorrow.